It can be hard to know what to say sometimes. So let's ask the question, why do we talk in the first place? I've said in a previous video about the 4 different conversation styles. You have storytellers, you've debaters, you've question askers, and you've listeners. And they all offer a certain thing to the conversation, but that's not that's not what we're on about today. I'm asking, why do we talk in the first place? In last week's video, I was on about that we frame the world a certain way. We have like a certain picture of the world, and it has a certain color, certain texture, certain tone, and someone else has a different way of looking at the world, has a different picture, has a different framing of the world. And that we talk, and that there's a big overlap between those two framings, 90%, because do you value family, friends, work, and hobbies? If so, we agree on most things. And then we're just arguing about the details. But regardless, so we agree on about 90%. And I said that that little extra 10% is that you're getting added, you're getting new information, you're getting extra details, data of the world. But is that why we talk? Just to get extra information? It's part of it for sure. But if I really wanted extra information, I would be online all day and I'd just be scouring through whatever facts and figures and everything else. Because that's not really, at its core, that's not why we talk to each other. Why we talk to each other is for insight. And if you've had this moment, and you have, everyone's had this moment of aha. Everyone's had that moment of something shifting and the world making sense just a different way. I can put up the picture here again of the duck and the rabbit. And I'll ask you again to realize that you can't see both at the same time. You can only see one or the other, depending on what you're prioritizing, depending on the story you're kind of expecting to see. So, perspective is very powerful. But what is that aha moment? What is that shift and just something? It's not new facts, by the way. It's not new information. Not all, like most of the time it's not. Most of the time it's stuff that you already knew, but it just clicks in a different way and you're just like, oh, now I get it. Now it makes sense. Oh, okay, and you have that moment. What that is insight. It's a realization. It's a reconfiguring of how you see the world. And that is why we talk to each other. To get a better grasp, to have a better relationship with reality itself. Because we know that we are prone to deceiving ourselves, of imagining, of projecting, of fantasizing, of just getting lost in the future or lost in the past, and all of the rest. So we talk to each other to see if we are both seeing reality as it is, and we're not because we can't, but we're trying to get a better grasp of it. Now, can we have it and be done with it? No, we cannot. We are always in relationship with it. And that is, I won't divulge there or digress there. So the thing is, here's the real fascination with this, and this is what the Dialogus workshops are all about. Is that when you're exploring that extra 10%, so 90% matches up, you've a frame, they've a frame, and 90% matches up, and there's an extra 10% here, and they get new information. Isn't that fascinating? But what you get is you get a different angle to tackle it from, because whatever you were talking about beforehand, if you were talking about fitness beforehand, it might flavor how it comes out. If you were talking about finance or politics or family or whatever else, that angle, the transition from that topic into what you're now going to talk about, whether that's a story or whether that's a philosophy or a theory or a book you've read recently or a movie you've watched recently, that transition from is important, and that's not arbitrary. So that will stretch you a certain way. But the real, like, you could do that with a wall. You could do that with videos. The real magic of a conversation is that in that 10%, it's new to the other person. So they are coming into your world and they are exploring. And they are naive. They don't know. Like, you have it set. You know what that is. You know your perspective on the movie or the book. You know your opinion of that person. You know whatever it is set. You haven't thought about it. It's not alive at the moment. But they come in and they start exploring it. And all of a sudden, there are many more possibilities. They open it up. The world now kind of invites you more, or that topic invites you more. It opens up in a way that I hadn't before. Because to use it, to have it and to use it, and to use it to navigate the world, it had to be solid, it had to be tangible. And now that someone else is looking at it and playing with it and wondering if you can plant a seed in sand, if you're going on about gardening. Like, honestly, the substance of this topic doesn't matter, but for the sake of something concrete, we will say that we are talking about stress with work, because we all have that. That's pretty universal. And some people will say, I struggle with I overwork and then I just crash in the evening time. And then other people will say, I find it hard to be motivated in work. I find it hard to focus. I find it hard to do whatever else. Okay, that shift. Why do you find it hard to focus? How does your brain work when you're doing that? You haven't thought about it. Okay, how about my posture? Let's take something really concrete. My posture when I'm on the laptop and doing work is poor. Oh, mine's really good because I have this like back thing or whatever else. It's like, okay, and why does that make a difference? Well, because see, you didn't think about it to use it. It was just functional. It worked, it fit in. What is it made of? Why is it that way? Could you put it up a little bit higher? Would that make a difference? Does it matter where the back bends or where it arches? And all of a sudden, you have a full-blown conversation about the shape of a chair. So it can be very simple. It can also go into the most abstract. How to relate to your child, to your parents. How to integrate the shadow. How to cut ties with projections and attachments. All of these things. It can be, again, I'm not on about topics specifically. I'm on about the why of why we talk. And we talk for insight, for that shift, for the world to open up. We talk for vitality, because by the world opening up, then there is more possibilities. There is more things calling us out. There's more things drawing us out. The good, the true, and the beautiful call to us. And we are drawn forward through time and through space towards that, whatever that is. So, my friends, this is what the workshops are all based on. So as always, I invite you along to the workshops. I also have a fun new project that I'm starting. I'm going to start doing interviews and posting them up on this. And the interviews are going to be about the ecology of practice, how people are balancing different practices. When are you quiet? When are you loud? When are you putting pressure on yourself to go? And when are you being grateful for what is? When are you moving? When are you sitting? When are you meditating? When are you contemplating? This is obviously derivative of John Vervaeke's Ecology of Practices, but I want to know when you're writing and when you're speaking and how they stretch you in different ways. Not quite like a conversation, but maybe. When I frame it, when I write it down, that process feels a bit different and my relationship with what's coming out of me is different, and then it shifts and I just have a realization, aha, because maybe it's my more logical brain, maybe it's my more language-centered brain, I don't know. But then when I speak it out, it comes from a different place. It comes from my solar plexus. It comes from here, and then I feel truth. Me personally, this is why I do the videos, is because when I speak it, I know the difference of when I have a better relationship with the difference between me bullshitting myself and trying to get somewhere and what I actually believe. So, all of that said, I am very excited for that new project. But for today, why do we talk to each other? We talk to each other for insight. We talk to each other not for extra information. I can go to the internet if I want more information. If I want more knowledge, because I want someone that's compiled all the information, I will go to a teacher, or I'll go to videos on YouTube that teach me things, like someone that has a certain amount of respect and reputation perhaps. But where do I go for wisdom? Where do I go for insight? Where do I go? There is no place for that. That is within us. That is the shift of recognizing when the things that we already have in our frame aren't working anymore, could be better, are misleading us in certain ways. They serve a function, but maybe they're leaking out into a different place where they don't belong. So I want to push myself at the gym, but I don't want that same level of pressure in other areas of my life, perhaps. So being able to shift gears, being able to pull ourselves, because we are that space between the poles. We are not chaos or order. We are the space that is drawn between us, or between those two. Regardless, anyway, for today, choose your chaos, my friends. Which way are you going to go? But choose your chaos in the fact that insight, the world opening up, the topics, it's infinite. Everything is infinitely interesting. Go to the atomic level, go to the quantum level, go to the solar system level, if you want, and see how small everything is. But for today, I hope you've had a great week. I hope you're excited for the week to come, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.